Hi everybody, I am Jim Wanzeck with RE/MAX Masters Millennium, and we're here at the Mount Elbert studio, and from time to time I get to, interview people in our industry, and it's really exciting because interviewing CEOs and different things, you never sometimes get the entrepreneur type of company, and basically we're gonna meet Garry O'Loughlin. He's from Ireland, and what we wanted to show you, his company is called Skyways Media, and we really want to talk to him about how his company has evolved. So Garry, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Jim. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we are excited about that because, I look at the real estate business as the last hurrah in the entrepreneur opportunity for someone to get into this business, and sky's the limit. And, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in what you do, because really that is a niche that we're really excited about having in our office from you.
Okay. I got involved in the media publishing business about 20 years ago. My family business was a textile business. We had big old mills back in the United Kingdom. We relocated most of our manufacturing overseas. I invested in a business that was sports-based 20 years ago, but selling advertising space. And we have a digital media element to what we do. We have a print division, and we employ about 80 people with offices in the UK, Ireland, Toronto in Canada, and 2 offices in the US.
Okay.
I live out of the Vegas office, which is our most recent opening about 3 years ago. We got involved in the realty business by chance, really. We have probably at any one time, probably 2,000 plus realtors, individual realtors, advertising with us on our various publications.
Okay.
And so I'm talking about our end-of-life publications, which are funeral home directories, assisted living, retirement community directories. Because when people pass away, there's an estate and there's a house to sell or a business to sell.
Oh, kind of like the realtor ambulance chasing end of the business. But anyway, I digress.
Yes, well, there is that element, I guess. It depends on your viewpoint. But either way, we've been asked by realtors to provide publications for them for many years. And we sort of succumbed to it about 2.5 years ago with RE/MAX in Ohio, RE/MAX Crossroads, and Linda LaFleur, who's become a great ambassador for
and she's a great ambassador for our company. Yes.
She's wonderful. And we've become very good friends as well. And it's sort of morphed from there, really. So we did a number of locations in different states. And then RE/MAX HQ invited us to become a vendor, an approved supplier.
Okay.
And so we did last year. Unfortunately for us, because of COVID, we're thin on the ground with personnel, and we made the offering to brokers across the US, and we were inundated with requests to put together a publication for them on a guide to buying, selling, and renting in their area.
Right.
And so we're trying to get around and prioritize. As you know, I'm here with you at Masters Millennium,
which we're excited about, and thank you very much for giving us at least a little bit of the top of the list. Really appreciate that.
Jim, you got pushed straight to the top, I can assure you.
Well, that's awesome. That's really great. So why did you pick Las Vegas?
Do you know, I have 4 sons. 2 of my eldest sons work in the business with us.
Okay.
Jack and Harry. Jack's 32, Harry's 28, and they're big Vegas fans.
Okay.
Being of that age. And when we talked about opening a West Coast office, I asked them both, what do you think? They both looked at each other and said, Vegas, no doubt about it. And I said, oh, really? Seriously?
Right.
But my wife and I really like it. We're very outdoorsy, and we like the sun. We come from a very dreary, grey home country. So it's proven to be a great move for us.
Traveling around the country and the world as I did, being an ambassador for RE Colorado, one of the things that always struck me from Europeans is that they always go to New York and then Las Vegas, and so hardly ever come to Colorado. And I just said, hey, you might want to see this part of the country too.
Well, I've spent quite a bit of time in Denver. Fort Collins, the Springs, and I love it.
Good.
It's a beautiful country.
Well, we hope that once we're done, that you just go to the other parts of the country and doesn't spend too much time in Denver, so we have a really opportunity to really excel with your magazine, because that's something that I was approached to one of my agents, just early this year, and says we've got to have a buyer and seller magazine to be able to have something to compete with, other organizations that seem to have excelled in that, and we never did. And it was like basically a divine intervention for me when you called, so really pretty excited about that. And the nice thing about that is you really get to put what you want individually in the magazine, and not just be pigeonholed to say, okay, here it is, and put a couple ads in and we'll print.
Yeah, that is definitely not what we do. And I reiterate this to all of our advertising partners, that these guides are written from the ground up. Everything is about your brokerage. Everything is about the community and the local neighborhoods. No two community is the same.
Yes.
It's so difficult. You cannot put a generic guide to buying and selling and renting nationally, and I don't think you can do it statewide either, because we've got to break down the different nuances, the idiosyncrasies of each market. So that's kind of what we do.
And that's what I find too. I go, as I travel around the country, and I happen to just go into RE/MAX offices, and I find the reason why I'm with the brand for 35 years is they're true entrepreneurs, and they understand their market. They understand that real estate is local. I mean, that's a cliche, but it really is true, because they're building something special for communities around them. And I think you having that attitude gives us a niche that really far exceeds just putting everyday advertising in on a one-time shot.
Yeah, it's definitely not a lifestyle with a few folders on the outside, a few leaves of an individual realtor or brokerage. It's all written for you. So, and your guide, for example, is you have so many different facets to your business, and it's not a one size fits all.
Right.
By any stretch.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I really like about that. And so I want to thank you for the opportunity to sit down and talk to you, because I think, this will give us a perspective, not only for my agents, but our listeners out there at masterscoloradoradio.com, and so we constantly are trying to strive to communicate. And with COVID, as you said, COVID was maybe slowed down a little bit, but, last year, but we really have found a niche with having a radio station within our office to communicate with our consumers and get them closer to us, and really show that we're human beings and you're human beings, and you're here to make a difference. And I really want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for being here today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So tell me, how would they get a hold of you? What's the best, and it doesn't mean you, because I know we're getting special treatment, but how do they get a hold of the company?
Well, as always, the website is probably the easiest way to make contact. So it's Skyways-media.com.
Great. We will get that on the screen, and hope you enjoyed this edition, and thank you very much for spending some time with us this afternoon. Thanks a lot.